Viva la Virgin. And that's what you'll hear coming from these streets in a few days' time. In the next few days, these streets will be full of pilgrims from all over the Bicol region, probably the wider Philippines as well. There's a religious festival going on in Naga City and Camarines Sur in the Philippines. And history goes back 600 years. So I've had to do some reading to do this blog. For this blog, I'm combining my love of cycling, my love of history, and my love of the Philippines, and combine it all in one blog. And I'll give you the reason why so many pilgrims turn up in Naga this month. And I'll be cycling the route that the procession will take down to the cathedral, and then following the river where the Fluvial procession takes place, with some little hints and tips that you might want to consider if you're considering coming to the festival this month. So with that, there's a lot to talk about, so let's go. It all began with this guy behind me, this statue, and I'll have to remind myself of his name. Miguel de Carobias. He was the son of a Spanish dignitary who lived in Cavite, and Miguel was studying in Manila at the time, and he became very ill. He took an image of the Virgin Mary and he placed it on the parts of his body which were in pain and which he was struggling with, and he noticed that the pain would disappear, and in the end he was cured, and he was so thankful he held the image of the Virgin Mary to his heart with gratitude. When Miguel was cured, he was so grateful he promised to build a stone shrine, and the stone shrine is now the stone shrine which is the Penefrancia shrine, which is behind me in Naga. And he first came to Naga in 1710. One of the first things that struck me when I first started reading up on this in this past few days is all the terms and terminology I had to come to terms with. I didn't get to grips with it all, I must say, it's too many, but one of the things was I wanted to know where the term Penefrancia came from, and it comes from the mountain where the original image was found in 1634, almost 600 years ago. And the mountain was called Penefrancia, and it's just south of Salamanca in the country of Spain. Friday the 8th of September there will be a translacion procession. Translacion, I had to look that one up as well. I think it translates from Spanish as meaning movement, but all it is the procession, the transferring of the image from the church here beside me to the cathedral. You must have seen images of this procession somewhere on the internet, with the crowds jostling for position, bare feet pilgrims who have travelled for miles. They were trying to touch the image which is on top of this carriage, and it is manic at times. There's so much religious fervour and enthusiasm, and people just want to say their prayers, offer gratitude, or maybe some people want to be cured also. But if you were ever curious about the iconic features of the image of Mama Mary, like I was, she is adorned with a halo of 12 stars which comes from the book of Revelation. And both Mary and Jesus wear earthly crowns, and round their faces is a piece called a rostrillos. This is to emphasize their splendor and radiance. And lastly, the manto, which is the large cape, is usually gold, embroidered and beaded, and devotees show their respect by kissing the manto of Ina. He's got many names. I get confused with which one to use sometimes. Our Lady of Penefrancia, she's the inner. She's the patroness of Bicol, the Queen of Bicol. She's the Virgin, she's Mama Mary. She is Nuestra Señora de Penefrancia. There's probably more that I might have missed. I apologise, but let me know in the comments below. This is the staircase which gives you access to the rear of the altar. It gives you access to the image of Mama Mary, and you can touch the manto, make a prayer, have some quiet reflection. But the barriers on the staircase indicate to me that there may be a lot of visitors during the busiest time of the pilgrimage. But it's time to leave the church and cycle the actual route that the translation procession will take. This is the route that the procession will take with Mama Mary. This will be next Friday, and it's not a route that I can cycle down next Friday. This will be thronging with pilgrims. The streets are lined, they're jostling for position, they're pushing each other around, all trying to get a touch with Mother Mary. Every viewpoint will be taken on the side of the road. It's only a short route. It's 1.1 kilometres to be exact. It would take me 15 minutes to walk that. Probably take me 5 minutes to cycle. But yet, it takes the procession 4 hours, I hear. I wasn't there at the end when I've seen it before, but they say it takes 4 hours for the procession to get from the shrine down to the municipal cathedral. There'll be thousands here. We've travelled the full length of the Philippines, maybe, from all over the Bicol region, further afield. I'd like to know the furthest distance someone has travelled. So if you know someone who's travelling to Naga this year for the festival, let's see if we can build up a picture and find out how far they've travelled. Let's get that squeaky brake fixed. There we are, that's the cathedral ahead of us now. From Mama Mary's turned right, and this is the final approach to the cathedral.
Sometimes this is also the danger of being.
Francisco Gainza, he's the guy, came here in 1834 to oversee the diocese here. And when he came, he discovered that the Penefrancia church wasn't actually holding the image of Mama Mary, and it'd fallen into a state of poor repair, and it was actually held here. So he refurbished the church and rehouses up the road 1 kilometre away. This church was built in 1810. It holds more than 3,000 people. It's been destroyed 3 times that I know of, maybe more. Fire, earthquake, typhoon. It's like a hat trick. It's like a hat trick, that is. And it's been rebuilt every time. But it's been rebuilt now to withstand earthquakes. So here, Spanish engineers. I can't show you because the doors are locked. There's some fine churches in Naga City. Fine churches. No wonder it's a pilgrim city. Disaster struck though in 1981, August 1981, and it was the icon was actually stolen. So that year in September 81, they had to use a replica. It was returned the following year in pieces. It was restored, and but I believe the replica is kept in the church, and the real original icon is either kept in the basilica or it's kept in the museum. This looks like the point where they enter the river. The clues are all here. There's the icon and top of the pedestal and Viva la Virgin. Looks like it's newly painted before they head up the river here. And the river procession seems longer than the road procession. But the boats, there's hundreds of them. There's hundreds of them. And some of them look like they're pretty overloaded, much to the point where they look like they could sink at any moment. So I hope there's no disasters this year. But this is where it goes. And I'll just mention again while I'm here, one of the miracles that is supposed to have happened. Hey, one of the miracles that are supposed to be acclaimed is that there was a dog killed and his throat was slashed so they could paint the icon a long time ago. They don't do things like that anymore, I hope. But a long time ago they cut the throat of the dog. They used the blood to either restore or paint the icon, and then the dog's body was thrown in the river. But the dog was seen to come back to life and swim to the shore, and this was seen by hundreds of onlookers, and some of them were many clergymen who were guests at the time. So that was another one. That could have been around here. That could have been around these parts, I don't know. I will now jump back on the bike and I will cycle as close to the river as I can. It's not possible. It's not possible by bike because the path narrows and it becomes impassable by bike. And I'll make my way up to Magsaysay Bridge, which is almost the end and almost full circle of the procession. I'm managing to keep the river to my side at the moment. But these, you have 2 sides of the river. East side, which is the far side over there, which is on the side of the volcano, and you've got the side I'm on at the moment, which is the side of the People's Market, the side of the plaza, which is the west side. And I just had a thought that if you're coming to watch the Fluvial, my preferred side would be the side I'm on now, with my back to the plaza. With my back to the plaza, because this is the side the sun goes down, and if you're on the far side, the sun will be in your face, and you'll be shielding your face from the sun as the procession goes on. My other piece of fluvial advice would be, bring an umbrella to protect yourself from the sun, because sometimes there's no shade. And also, I'd say get here early, because some of the police close some of the access points due to overcrowding for safety reasons. So if you get here early, you get a better choice of where to sit. So bring a snack, bring an umbrella, and enjoy it. That's it, full circle complete. Back to Magsaysay bridge behind me, which is almost the end of the fluvial procession, which is just up the river here, and back to its home at the shrine. So I've enjoyed the journey. It's been interesting. It's been an education. I hope it has for you too. There's only 1 week before it starts. 1 week to go before it starts. Hi. I think I agree though, it's a fascinating story, 600 years in the making. Some interesting characters along the way. But that's it from me for now, but there'll be more next week when I'll be doing the procession itself, and I'll be doing the fluvial procession the week after that, and there's a military procession in between, so I'll be quite busy. So there'll be a few videos coming out before the end of September. So I'm going to be busy with that. For now, goodbye, stay safe, keep smiling.